Hi everyone. I wanted to just show a quick overview of Mount and Blade Warband. Um, the thing is that I had already recorded a video telling you about the game, except that, well, it was supposed to be a quick overview, but turned out to be seven parts long, which was ridiculous. So I decided to scrap that and just present the game superficially. So anyway, Mountain Blade Warband is a mix of, well, first of all, it's a free-form game, which means you can do pretty much anything you want. There's no real end to the game. There are plenty of mods available with their own stories. Some of them have an end. Anyway, it's medieval. It's medieval combat. It's a mix of RPG, empire building, real-time combat. So, well, real-time combat, I'm like first-person shooter in a way, except, with bows and horses and all. When you start a game, you are asked several questions, and each question will affect your stats, um, your starting equipment, and sometimes they also affect your relationship with certain NPCs. Anyway, I'll show you a game uh, I'm playing right now, Red Sonja. Uh, my most advanced game was Ivan the Terrible, where I conquered the old continent. With Red Sonja, well, basically, you have different ways of playing the game. Now I'm just going to zoom back and show the map. The map is pretty big. The map is divided between six factions, and each faction is very much alike the old factions from our own world. For example, you have a faction that's pretty close to the French and the English during the Middle Ages. You have others where it's more like the steppe people from around Mongolia, I suppose. You have others that are more like Mujahideens from the Middle East. Others like you have the Nords, basically like Vikings, etc., etc. Now, so what you can do basically, so the game in itself is to either become king or help someone become king or queen. Well, you can become a queen as well if you play a woman, of course. Now, when you start a game, you start with nothing. You have a little bit of money, but you need to recruit volunteers in little villages. You have three different types of settlements. You have the villages, the castles, and the towns. The villages are mostly there to recruit volunteers. You also have certain quests there. The castles, usually a lord lives there. Um, you can only get quests from the lords there. And the towns, it's like having a village and a castle in the same spot. So basically, um, you can go to the marketplace. A lot of items are there, horses, and you can get quests at the tavern. You can, well, let's go look. Where am I again? Nope. Yee. So I'm at Nara, which is my capital now. So what you can do is join one of the existing factions and help them win the war. Or you can just try to. Each faction has a claimant who is an NPC who is the supposedly rightful heir to the throne. So you can support those people, or you can do what I just did with Red Sonja and start your own faction. And that's a bit more difficult, except if you strike at the right target at the right time, it can be pretty easy. For example, I took most of the territory from here, the Kurgat Khanate, because they were at war with the Sultans as well as, well, another, probably the Swadians right there. So I was able to attack them without much resistance. Anyway, so you have different types of things you can do. You can even start businesses and just focus on trade. Uh, There's nothing that tells you you have to act like this. You do whatever you want. Now I would like to show combat. Sadly, I'm not at war, which is too bad. So what I'll do is try to find. Oh yeah, right. Um, when you attack a castle or a town, here's a sultan. So when you attack a castle, you have to siege the castle. The town is the same. Villages can only be looted, pillaged if you prefer. So when you need to attack a city, you will either need to build ladders or a siege tower to attack the town. Ladders take only a few hours, and you can usually attack the town really quickly before they can get any reinforcements. And if it's a siege tower, well, it takes like nearly 3 days. So that gives a good chance to the computer to just come back and help itself. Here I have some characters, well, some troops who can level up. Here we go. So when you attack towns, usually it's a bit difficult, but if you have really good troops, you can attack with only a small number of troops and just grab the castle or the town without too much trouble. Now, for the combats, if I can catch up with this guy. Here we go. Combats, depending on your computer, you will